What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Peacemaker back with another video. In this video here, I will be going over my counter to the B.K.W.R, especially on this attached to the ship called the Garuda. Now, before I actually get to the build, I do have a couple shots I need to get out of the way. My first shout out goes out to my man Cannon. He actually put the idea in my head, which allowed it to manifest into the ship you see behind me. So without his input, I don't think I would have pulled this off as officially without his insight. Now, my next shout out is actually to RVH. That they have been a super duper welcoming group. I've had nothing but good experiences. If anybody needs any help, they're there. I mean, like, they don't give you a hard time. So big shout out to RVH. And speaking of RVH, I also want to give a shout out to my man G. I will put a link down in my description to his channel as well. He actually helped me run some tests on this build before I actually posted this video. And the name of his channel is called Jared B Gaming. So if you get a chance, go check that out. Let's get right into the build. Let's take a quick trip. I see we got some guests in the video. Alright. So let me introduce you to Purpose. I was gonna go with anti-venom, but it just didn't sit well with the ship, and I stuck with Purpose because when you have a purpose, you have the ability, you have the will and the ability to endure whatever's thrown at you, and for the most part, this ship does that quite well. Let's get right into the build. But before we get into the build, I do want to have a quick look at the B.K.W.R. So the B.K.W.R, I'm guessing next season, people are going to use this long gun here combined with the Garuda, which specializes in piercing damage, and also running the immortal armor. So with the B.K.W.R in mind, they do toxic level 3. With a perk sub is toxic level 3, and hits from this weapon sap crew stamina, adds 20% damage that cannot be blocked by bracing. It also does level 2 piercing. But the main thing I want to keep in mind is that toxic level 3. So let's get right into the basics. Now, my ship of choice is the Snow, because obviously if you don't have any crew stamina, you can't brace. Not only that, you can't set sail full speed. You have to pretty much sit there and take that abuse. So the reason I went with the Snow, I'm gonna skip past the perks and we're gonna go right into the whole health. Now the whole health on the Snow, fully upgraded, is 61,800, and the brace strength for the Snow is 36,900. Now mind you, the Snow is not the only tank build in this game. The other tank build is actually called the Battle Jump. But if I scroll down here compared to the Snow, you can see a reduction in my whole health at 58,000, and also a reduction in my brace strength at 29,000. Yes, I get an increase in speed, but like, is the speed really necessary when you're running a tank build anyway? Which I didn't go over the speed with the Snow. The speed with the Snow is 11 knots, top speed to 14 knots, which is, again, with a tank build, you're not going to be really moving too fast anyway, but you are going to withstand a lot of punishment. Now let's get right into the perks. Now the Snow is the tank build. It specialized in bracing against incoming damage. The tank excels in defense. Now the first perk of the Snow is called Tendency. It recovers brace strength by 5% per second while bracing. It increases brace strength by 150% and brace strength recovery by 100%. The other perk of the Snow fully upgraded is Vindictive. which after bracing damage increases weapon damage by 20% for 20 seconds, meaning once your opponent is shooting at you, it don't matter if it's an NPC or another player, if you're bracing that and you shoot within those 20 seconds after that, you get a 20% weapon damage increase no matter what the weapon. I was getting to the sweet part. Now again, I'm keeping that toxic level 3 in mind, where it's draining your crew stamina doing that level 2 piercing. So my armor choice is the B.K.W.R, and the B.K.W.R gives you 1198 armor, but the main perks of the B.K.W.R is going to reduce damage and crew stamina depletion from toxic attacks by 50%. So we're already off to a good start with the toxic resistant perk. The other perk of this armor is Agile Guard, which is going to reduce crew stamina depletion at the start of bracing by 40%. Again, if you don't have any crew stamina, you can't brace. If you lose your brace strength, if you have crew stamina remaining, you can use that stamina to evade enemy attacks if necessary. Now, since the snow specializes in brace recovery, it can recover 5% of its brace strength while bracing. I set my furniture up to add on to that to complement its main perks. So my furniture slot 1, I went with the water tank, which is going to reduce crew stamina depletion by 50% while bracing. It's also going to increase stamina recovery by 20%. Now if we go back to the armor, under Agile Guard, we already reduced crew stamina depletion at the start of bracing by 40%. We're going to add another 50% to that reduced stamina depletion while bracing, for a total of a reduced stamina depletion by 90% while bracing. And we're also getting 20% of that stamina recovery back. So you're going to be able to maintain your brace. Now for my furniture slot 2, since the Pew 3s, I believe they sap like 20% of your crew stamina, which I think each ship, no matter what category, maxes out at 100 stamina anyway. So since it will take 20%, I went with the medicine cabinet for my furniture slot 2, which is going to reduce crew stamina depletion from attacks by 20%. It's also going to increase stamina recovery by 8% while in combat. And it's also going to increase our overall stamina by 5%. So we're already reducing stamina depletion by 40% with our armor. We're already reducing it further with a water tank for another 50%. And not only that, we're also going to be reducing the crew stamina depletion from attacks by 20%. So you're really going to be able to maintain your brace while using this build. Now in combination with the water tank, you get that increased stamina recovery by 20%. And you also get another 8% stamina recovery while in combat with the medicine cabinets. So overall 28% stamina recovery. Now for my furniture slot 3, I went with the campaign screen, which is going to reduce incoming area of effect damage from enemy ships by 15%. That is just in case they decide to use the B.K.W.R mortar, which is also going to drain your crew stamina. The campaign screen is also going to reduce incoming burn charge by 7%. That's not as important, but it is handy combined with other furniture that I have lined up. And lastly, with the campaign screens, it's also going to increase your maximum hull health by 3%. Since the snow already has 61,000, I think it's 980 hull health, and an additional 3% to that is actually quite handy. On top of us already reducing our crew stamina depletion. Now, for my furniture slot 4, I went with the campaign spirit locker, and this here is going to reduce crew stamina depletion at the start of bracing by 20%, while, that's the important part, while slowed by flooding, torn sails, or other status effects. So it doesn't matter if they're using the B.K.W.R, the NASCAR, the Divine Thunder, or Heaven's Mandate, or Fire Long Gun 3s. It doesn't matter. So this here is going to add a further stamina depletion once that status effect is on you. And also with the campaign spirit locker, you're going to get increased brace strength by 15%. Now in the beginning at the basics, the ship already gives you 150 brace strength. You add another 15 today, that puts you at 165 overall brace strength. And the last thing the campaign spirit locker is going to do, it's also going to increase your armor rating by 7%, which is an added bonus. Now for my furniture slide 5, I went with the mine clearing locker. And the mine clearing locker, it says while sailing at half sails or less, your ship has an 80% chance to avoid triggering mine buoys. Not really important, but it may be handy. It's also going to reduce all incoming damage from mine buoys by 15%. The first two is not really important, but the main one you really need to focus on is that last one, where we're going to increase brace strength by an additional 5%. So you're already getting 150 at the basic fully upgraded snow. We increased that with the campaign spirit locker by another 15%, which puts us at 165 overall brace strength. Then we're going to add another 5% to that. That puts us at 170 overall brace strength. And if you remember as well, the snow recovers 5% of its brace strength while in combat, which is so the more brace strength you have, the more you're going to be able to endure. Now for my furniture slot 6, you all know I'm running Maintenance Forge 1. I hate being in fights and having so much severe damage and not be able to have to get it off me, because I hate having to dock just to repair that severe damage. So with this Maintenance Forge 1, it's going to restore 1% severe damage per second while out of combat. Now, I'm probably not going to run the B.K.W.R for my weapons, because I don't like the idea of fighting toxic with toxic. More than likely, I'm more than gonna shoot, I screwed up again. I'm more than likely gonna run the 1000-Year Monsoon, because in my experience, flood damage depletes your crew stamina. No, not that much difference than the B.K.W.R s, but the added bonus of actually doing flood damage, I'm going to cause severe damage. So with the severe, it's going to reduce your brace strength and your crew stamina quicker. So you're almost getting the same effect from flood effects that you would get from a B.K.W.R, minus the piercing. But more than likely, I'm going to run the 1000-Year Monsoon, which the perks of it, 15% chance of this. Wait, the main perk of the 1000-Year Monsoon is Deluge, which 15% chance to deal 2,500 severe damage. This chance increases to 30% when the target ship has a flood status effect. And the other reason I'm probably going to run the 1000-Year Monsoon is mainly because it has explosive level 1. With the Garguda, what is the name of that ship? Garguda. Don't judge me, y'all. I struggle with that name. But with the explosive level 1, that's gonna throw off their aim a little bit, because the Garguda specializes in doing damage at long range for the most part. It don't have a whole lot of health, but it does. Its damage output at a long range is outstanding. Now I'm probably gonna run the 1000-Year Monsoon on the bow, the port, starboard, and stern. Now as an added bonus, just in case my opponent tries to circle around me, I'm gonna run the Mine Spring Loader 3. And I could run the B.K.W.R 3, which also does level 2 flooding, but they both have a 20-second reload. Yep, reload 20 seconds, 20-second reload. Yeah, so they both have a 20-second reload. But the nice thing about the mine spring loader, if my opponent is on one side and I shoot my mortar and I miss, I have a 20-second window where I have to balance out my defense or offense. Versus with the mine spring loader, it don't matter if they're to my right, they're in front of me, they're to my left or behind me. I can deploy my mines to kind of alter their movements a little bit to work to my advantage. Yes, I do lose a little bit of range, but in the sense of maintaining my defense, I went with the mine spring loader 3. Now, in addition to that, to sweeten the deal, you definitely want to combine this build with this food here, which is the I'm gonna just the wild caribou. I don't even know what that first word is. But the nice thing about this food here is going to increase your base strength by 20%. So you already started off with a base strength of 150. We increased that by 15% with the campaign spirit locker, bringing us to a total of 165. We also increased the base strength with the mine clearing locker by another 5%, which gives us a base strength of 170 overall. Combined with this, that's going to put us at a overall base strength of 190. Now the other nice thing about this food, it's going to reduce base stamina consumption at the start of bracing by an additional 20%. Now we're already reducing crew stamina depletion at the start of bracing by 40% with our armor. With the water tank, we're going to reduce that by an additional 50%. With the campaign spirit locker, in case we do get any status effects, no matter if it's from the fire, flooding, or electric, or torrent cells, we're going to reduce our crew stamina depletion by another 20%. And then combined with this, man, like, you're going to be able really to brace for days with this here. Now, the other nice thing about this food here is also going to increase your stamina regeneration by 50%. Now, with my furniture slot 1 with the water tank, you're already getting a stamina regen of 20%, combined with the medicine cabinet of another 8%, which brings you to a total of 28 stamina regeneration. Combined with this food here, with the increase of 50%, that brings you to an overall stamina regen of 78%, which is really, really nice. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually eat this, and I'm gonna set sail so I can show you firsthand. And more than likely, what I'll do, I'll probably try to include some footage of me actually testing this build. If you want to see it live, just go to my live, and I believe it's under my first friendly PvP video, and skip to I believe it's the 28-minute mark, and you can actually see this build firsthand, like how well it holds up. Now granted, I'm not really a tank person, but this here is kind of like drawing my attention to it, so I think I might be doing more tank builds. So I'm at full sail. We ate the food, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna brace. So you can see my brace here, and this green bar below the brace is our crew stamina. Now mind you, I'm still holding my brace. It's not even a quarter of the way out the way, and we're at full sail. It goes down even slower if you're anchored. So actually what I'm gonna do, since we're here, we're gonna get the attention of the pest of the crew and see how well, not see how well, I can actually show you firsthand how well you putting these things together will help you endure almost whatever's thrown at you. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get the attention of the ships. not the best aim with the long gun, but I'm just trying to get their attention. They seem really focused on, oh, perfect timing. Now you can see my brace recovery is taking effect, and my cruise stamina is not really going down that much. Now my health is kind of going down. They've been sitting there too long. But against an enemy ship, you're going to be able to stand quite a bit of damage. I kind of wish that tower wasn't there. Oh, come on, tower. You've already made your point. Oh my god, take a shot at me. There you go. This tower really wants to take me out. I really want to show y'all firsthand how well it does. Try to get this tower. That's kind of annoying. Nice. Now the only flaw, I do have to mention this before I let you go. The only flaw to this build is its weak points. So the snow doesn't have any weak points other than the front. So right here, by that blood stain on that horn, that is the only weak point on the snow. So when you're doing this build, you definitely want to keep your opponent behind you, to the side of you, but you definitely don't want them in front of you. So we try to kind of piss these guys off a little bit. That's why I don't like doing my builds, or test builds, with a whole bunch of people around have a tendency to throw things off. Definitely check out my friendly PvP live and skip to the 28-minute mark. You can see firsthand how well this ship is. Hoping to get more ships involved. There we go. Perfect. Now granted they're only level 8, but it's a good example as to how well the ship holds up. Now right now I'm on fire, and that campaign spirit locker is taking effect and reducing my crew stamina depletion. And you can see my crew stamina at the bottom, that green bar. So even while it's sailing, I can still maintain my brace and endure any damage that the enemy's going to be putting out. I do want to show y'all firsthand how well that works. Man, that's crazy, dude. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your views. And I will see y'all in the next video. And again, I probably won't do any more Skull and Bones video until next season starts. Let's see what furniture's out there. I may alter some of my previous builds, who knows, but till then, I'll see y'all in season 5, and good luck out there, captains.